Hello and thanks again for joining me here at the Burrow Home Bar. Today I am making a very light, very floral cocktail. It's one that I have made a few times, but I've made a few tweaks to it actually. I usually make this cocktail with lychee liqueur, just normal lychee liqueur, but I got this for my Christmas. It's cherry blossom and lychee gin liqueur, and because there's another cherry flavour in there as well, I thought I would use this instead. I think it's going to go really well together. So the cocktail name is Shades of Cherry. There's probably more lychee in this than cherry, but it sounded better than Shades of Lychee, so you know that is the name that I've come up with. So yeah, in this cocktail, it's a gin-based cocktail, so we're using gin in there obviously. As I mentioned, the lychee and cherry gin liqueur. Some cherry vermouth, which is really lovely. I would recommend that you try that. Not a lot of people have heard of this, and it's sort of fantastic. Just a little bit of Aperol in there as well. Some lemon juice, some lychee juice, and some egg white powder, because I don't have many eggs, so egg white powder. And actually it works just as well. I really like using egg white powder, as I've probably mentioned in some of my other videos. So let's get going with this cocktail, Shades of Cherry, and we're going to start with the gin, and we're going to do 25 ml of gin. This is my favourite gin of the moment. I've used it a few times in this video now. So 25 ml goes in here. Great, then we're going to do 20 ml of the, oh, that's a hard cork there, of the cherry. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to give it a little shake because it's glittery. It makes absolutely no difference probably the amount that I'm putting in. I'm only putting in 20 ml. So 20 ml goes in here, and that's a cherry and lychee liqueur. Then for the Aperol, I'm just going to do 10 ml, so not very much at all. I really don't want it to be overly Aperol-y because it is quite bitter, and it can overpower some drinks. So just 10 ml in there. Then the vermouth, I'm going to do 20 ml. Can't remember if it's meant to be 15 or 20. We're going to go with 20. In here. Then the lemon juice, I've already squeezed my lemon, and it's going to be just 10 ml. Just a little bit. And then just using the lychee juice. So I'm going to do 30 ml of, or thereabouts, of the lychee juice. Let's see how this is going to go in here. And this is still lychee juice rather than fizzy. If you're using fizzy, you obviously don't want to put it in the shaker. I made a cocktail video before where I really wanted to use the still lychee juice, and the supermarket didn't have any, so I had to use fizzy and just add it later. We have a little visitor on camera. What are you doing? Move! You're ruining the shot. Go, go. Move. Honestly, that's the first time that's ever happened. That was Bella, my little cocktail pal. Okay, so that's all the ingredients in the shaker apart from the egg white powder. So I'm just going to use a teaspoon, and just 1 teaspoon in there actually, a tiny bit more. And because it's not fresh egg white, I don't have to mix it without ice and then add ice. This should be fine just to mix with ice. So I'm going to add the ice to the shaker. Give it a good shake, and it is always really important. I mean, you do strain with egg white anyway, but it's always really important to remember if you're using egg white powder to just fine strain it or sort of double strain it, because it can have little lumpy bits. But that all completely goes when you when you strain it with one of these. So a good shake. Should be enough hopefully. For my glass, I've just been dehydrating some different oranges, limes, lemons at the moment, so I've just got a little lemon on a little peg there on the side. So let's pour this cocktail, Shades of Cherry, in. Doesn't want to come out for some reason. It's all stuck on the ice. taking longer than usual to come out, and I don't know why. Maybe that's it, to be fair. I've probably not picked the perfect glass to go with it. I really like my cocktails coming up right to the top of the glass, which doesn't always happen. Pretty foamy though, I'm happy with that. It's a good foamy top, which is handy because I've got something else to go on the top as well that really works better when it's foamy. So there we go. And then just on the top I have a little edible wafers. It says the Burrow Home Bar in it. I've not used these in a while, so just that goes on the top. Yay! And there we go. That is my Shades of Cherry cocktail. Let's have a little taste. It's not too different from the one that I usually make, just with the lychee liqueur, which makes sense because it's not much different, but it's really yummy. That's the first time I've ever made it with gin, actually. I'm really happy with that. I'm quite impressed with it. Yep, it tastes of lychee, it tastes of cherry. Not too, like, you wouldn't know that there was Aperol in there. It just sort of gives it a tiny little bit of a bitter edge. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I hope that you enjoyed this video as well. And join me next week on the Burrow Home Bar for another cocktail. Cheers.